have found Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. We are locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie. If you're listening or watching this on the web, please share it with all your friends. And of course, if you want an audio episode for free, you can download it at the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. Today, we're welcoming / preparing to learn from Vladimir Botsvadze. I probably destroyed that name, Vladimir, so I apologize. This is the Midwest accent here. Vladimir's got a lot going on. We got on the board for United States AI Institute, which that alone we could probably talk for hours about. Mentor at Techstars, another great thing we could talk for hours about. And judge at the Webby Awards, which again, we could talk hours about. So we're going to try to compact this into one podcast for now. But if we have to meet again, Vladimir, I'm happy to. So let's start, Vladimir, with you being on the board of the United States AI Institute, because if ever there was a growing topic, I feel like AI is probably on the cusp of it right now.
Yeah. Hi, James. It is a delight to be on your podcast. Many thanks for inviting me. I'm excited to share my actionable, high impact, and future-proof insights with you today. And you know, what sets me apart is that my long-term thinking, my patience, my storytelling, and caring about my community, caring about my end users, you know. Otherwise, I would not be a guest on your amazing podcast, because I believe that my social media community has put me on the global map, because I was sharing great content. I was educating them. Instead of sending sales pitches, I was listening to them. So I have been in the listening business. I come from Georgia, actually, from the country. I moved to the United States at the age of 18 in 2006. I got work permit from the State Department. I worked in Washington, D.C. area. Then I moved to London. Then I moved to New York City, where I lived for 2 months. In 2009, I moved to London, where I studied business, marketing. I worked in business development. I built outstanding skills. Then I attended some conferences in Dubai. I have been in the right place at the right time with the right people. Then I started building my social media communities across 10, 15 social media channels. And I was working 16 hours a day. I have built my following from 0 followers to 130,000 followers. And I was very patient. I was very curious. I was thinking in the long term. I have built my website at vladimirbotsvadze.com. I won more than 200 global awards. I have been recognized as #1 global marketing software by Think360. I have started judging awards. I started advising boards in the United States. I started advising entrepreneurs and startups at Techstars. So nowadays I wear so many hats. I take so much responsibility. I always believe in giving back, inspiring audiences, galvanizing them into taking action. And so also what sets me apart is that I don't rest on my laurels. I always look to my laurels. I'm curious to the core, you know. And so when you are curious, when you are lifelong learner, when you show more patience in business, in marketing, you truly produce world-class and outstanding results, you know?
Yeah. So tell me, I'm looking on your website. It's got a lot of marketing stuff. Are there typical size companies that you work with?
Yeah, because, you know, I currently serve on the advisory board of the United States AI Institute, United States Data Science Institute, United States Cybersecurity Institute. I'm also a member, an associate member of International Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences in New York City, and which is part of Webby Awards, which is probably the best award ceremony in the world, because we celebrate and recognize excellence in marketing and social media. I'm also a mentor at Techstars, and we are building unicorns literally in Saudi Arabia. And I work with 25 speakers bureaus throughout the world. I hope my expertise is recognized and trusted by the American Marketing Association. And so in 2022, I spoke at a global marketing summit where I'm listed as a speaker actually alongside Philip Kotler. And due to my consistent and strong performance, I have been recognized, James, as among top 10 inspiring business leaders by Inside Success magazine. And this is magazine Inside Success, and it featured me, you know.
Oh, nice. Look at
Yeah,
that.
and another magazine that recognized me as a transformative leader of the year. Transformative leader of the year is Exelion magazine in Delaware, United States, that interviewed me in the magazine, you know. And I'm
Nice.
very honored. I'm very honored that my practical personal brand building story has been put on a pedestal by this business world. So I have had I have a great privilege to work as a speaker with speakers bureaus throughout the world. I work with Las Vegas Speakers Bureau, MSP Talent, Kruger Cone, Champion Speakers, Speakers Academy International, speakers bureaus in Australia, throughout the world, in Finland. So I'm very honored that I'm invited to conferences, masterclasses, workshops, so I can deliver my insightful, impactful, and actionable insights with global brands, you know?
Yeah, that's incredible. Let's talk about when you first got started. What led you to marketing?
Well, it's just curiosity, you know, just curiosity. And of course, I pursued my bachelor's degree in computer engineering, my master's degree in international economics relations, and my PhD degree in supply chain management and logistics. At the same time, I pursued my certificate program in business planning, analysis, and administration. And also, I studied. I also studied in London. I worked in business development. So these degrees truly inspired me to choose marketing, because I believe that marketing is all about winning attention. So what is marketing nowadays? Marketing is all about creating customers and retaining customers, you know. So what I see is that brands do a lot of do a great job when it comes to getting customers, but when it comes to retaining customers, they are not as active as they should be. Why? Right? Because you need to care about your consumers. You need to keep your consumers. So you need to tell your story. You need to show empathy. You need to show gratitude. You need to communicate with your consumers directly on social media. You know, and I believe that in the age of AI, where 85 million jobs will disappear according to World Economic Forum. I mean, the entry-level jobs will disappear, you know. So marketers are going to have a tough time in the future, because for example, AI will replace copywriters, I believe, because what copywriters are doing nowadays will be done by generative AI in the foreseeable future. So in 2009, when I embarked on my amazing journey in London, I had an entry-level job in business development in London, because a great company opened the door. I had great colleagues. I developed my skills. So AI was not dominant in 2009, but nowadays AI, we work in the age of AI. So as you can see, AI has become alpha and omega of business, and AI is every brand's competitive advantage. So brands will reduce costs. They will deploy AI in daily operations, which means that so many jobs, millions of jobs, are going to go away because of AI, because of this fourth industrial revolution. So brands that truly capitalize on AI stay ahead of the car and win in the long term, you know. And what is our competitive advantage in the age of AI? Personal brand, you know. And I think that the best example of personal brand is Elon Musk, who has built a robust personal brand. who directly communicates with Tesla's owners on Twitter. And as you know, that Tesla does not have an advertising department. Tesla takes advantage of word of mouth marketing and Elon Musk personal brand to drive and power its success. Whereas, for example, its competitor, Mercedes-Benz, spends more than $945 per car on their advertising. And if you, as a result, Tesla has a higher market value than other automotive brands because of Elon Musk's personal brand, who directly communicates with Tesla's owners. So, because of Elon Musk's curiosity, he has built a huge community on Twitter. That's why he has become dominant. He has become the #1 billionaire in the world. He's at the forefront. He's at the vanguard of entrepreneurship and business excellence because of his curiosity, because of his communication skills, because of his long-term thinking. And you don't know anybody from or traditional automakers where their executives directly communicate with their consumers on social media. You know, they think that TV advertising works, and they waste their billions of dollars on backward-looking advertising. And as you know that trust in businesses, brands, and advertising has declined 15 years in a row. 15 years in a row. You know.
Wow.
Yes, and the consumption of advertising is down by 95%. 95%. Just imagine that I'm an award judge throughout the world at elite and prestigious award ceremonies, and I can see that it is a battle for attention among the brands. Battle for attention. So the brands that tell compelling stories, they are at the forefront and they win consumers' attention. But the brands that disregard personal branding, that they disregard social media, they disregard content creation, storytelling, they go out of business, they lose market share, and nobody remembers Blockbuster and the rest of the brands because they disregarded internet and consumers. So we need to put consumers at the heart of everything we do, and we need to be in the listening business, James. In the listening business, because so many brands pushing their message on social media, like broadcasters, you know, like on TV, on billboards, on like in magazines. And social media is all about humanizing your brand. You need to connect with your consumers, you know. So social media is the first platform in the history of marketing and communication where consumers have a voice and a reaction. Unfortunately, majority of brands are transactional. They are focused on short-term ROI instead of communicating with their consumers directly, you know, on social media. A great example is Brian Chesky, who co-founded Airbnb, and he built a great community on Twitter because he directly communicates with Airbnb's users to improve Airbnb's product, you know. So market is a decision maker. Market decides what is good and bad. So market decided that Tesla is good, Airbnb is good, Netflix is good, Spotify is good, and the rest of the brands are good that truly solved consumers' problems, you know.
Tell me, let's dig into the Elon Musk thing, just because from a marketing standpoint, that's a very interesting. I didn't even know that Tesla didn't have an advertising department. That's interesting, but let's say, so Tesla is worth, I mean, it's valued 4 times what GM is, I think. It's just crazy.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, James, Tesla has higher market value than the rest of the automakers because of the personal brand, you know. And you know why I work with speakers bureaus? Because first of all, I have been ranked as #1 global marketing thought leader by Thinkers 360, which is the first open platform for global thought leaders. I have been very consistent because I communicated with my audience, because I did not have millions of dollars to invest in my personal brand building, but I was on a shoestring budget. I just built my website. I just built with hunger, determination, perseverance. I have built my communities across 15 social media channels, and I have reinvested every penny into my growth, you know, every penny into my growth, because I'm a long-term thinker. I don't care about keeping up with Joneses. and the majority of people around me, they do care about keeping up with journalism, but I don't care because I create my path, I build my dreams, and I'm at the forefront nowadays of marketing because of my vision and because I believe in what I'm doing, you know. So when I embarked on my journey on Twitter in 2014, I was convinced that I was going to build huge communities, that building huge communities would open so many doors. So I would explore exciting opportunities in business. So as a result, all my efforts paid off because I have rarely depended on my formal degrees. Even I pursued my PhD, but formal, as Jim Rohn said, formal education will make you a living, and self-education will make a fortune. So self-education is everyone's responsibility in this decade. As Warren Buffett advises that to read 500 pages a day in order to be dominant. I'm not saying that you need to be competitive. You need to be dominant in business. You know, you need to work to be number one, not number 5, not number 15, not number 25. You need to be dominant because Apple, it is a domination or competition. Domination, right? Coca-Cola, it is a domination or competition. Domination, you know. Tesla, it is a domination or competition. Domination, you know. So we need to push self-education in order to be dominant, not competitive, because so many people are obsessed with being competitive, but it's all about domination. Only 1% dominate, right, James? Like Tesla, like Elon Musk, like Warren Buffett, like Apple, because they listen to their consumers, you know. So customer centricity is a be all and end all nowadays, James, you know.
So tell me the danger that I see in that when you talk in, I guess Airbnb, not so much, but Tesla, I always worry, what happens if Elon Musk gets hit by a bus? What does that do to the Tesla brand?
Well, I'm sure that Elon Musk is careful enough in his life to
Right. He's got a private jet, all this. I'm not expecting a bus driver to hit him or
you
anything.
know,
let's just say,
I admire James. I admire Elon Musk. Elon Musk's work ethic, because Elon Musk said that
absolutely.
If other people work 40-hour work weeks and you work 80, 100-hour work weeks, you know that in 4 months you will achieve what it takes for them a year to achieve, you know. So I was working 16 hours a day in the last 20 years, you know. I was working. You know why I worked? Because of curiosity, because to build my dreams, because to pay my path instead of following the crowd and to depend on formal degrees, because formal degree no longer provides a positive ROI, because for example, because formal education does not keep up with the innovation of this technology world. It's hard to keep up, you know, because this world is faster because of the internet. This world is faster, you know. So we need to one of the top skills by the world, according to the World Economic Forum, is active daily learning. So we need to learn daily, actively, in order to be number one, in order to stay ahead of the car and to win in the long term, you know?
Right. So I'm just saying, Elon Musk's marketing machine, if he goes away, is that similar to when Apple got rid of Steve Jobs in
Absolutely,
absolutely,
James, absolutely. Because Elon Musk is a face of Tesla. Of Tesla, you know. So when Steve Jobs returned to Apple, right? Apple made a comeback, right?
They did.
Yeah. So nowadays, Tesla heavily depends on the robust personal brand of Elon Musk, because he is active on Twitter.
Right.
He's active on Twitter, so he directly communicates with Tesla's owners, you know, because Elon Musk has emotional connection with his community. Emotional connection is decisive, James. Emotional connection. For example, Harley Davidson has community, Harley Owners Group, you know, because more than 700,000 riders go to Sturgis in South Dakota to attend festivals, you know. So Harley Davidson brings community together. It's not about sales, it's about branding. It's all about caring about your community, you know. so Harley Davidson's consumers have emotional connection with the brand. It's all about, and Harley Davidson's mission is to make their consumers' dreams come true through motorcycle lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm a big motorcyclist. Not necessarily a Harley guy, but yeah, definitely motorcyclist. The curiosity that I have is the separation of a person from a business, because for the person can go away, right? No one lives forever, nobody lasts forever, and sometimes people can say things that they don't necessarily, that the world may take a different way, right? There's people that are certainly polarized over Elon for whatever reason. Where
Yes.
Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola. I don't know the CEO of Coca-Cola. I couldn't tell you any one of the board members. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
but
could.
it is we work in the digital age nowadays, James. So it is very important for every entrepreneur, every president of the company and director to connect with their consumers directly on social media, because social media is the ultimate competitive advantage nowadays. So if you communicate, if you humanize your brand, then you can win in the long term. But if you still depend on the backward looking advertising, you will go out of business like Blockbuster.
Yeah, I think Blockbuster was essentially in the typewriter repair business. So just technology evolved into the product that they were offering, and they did not evolve with it.
Nokia was a market leader in 2007. Was when Steve Jobs introduced iPhone, right, in 2007. But Nokia is no longer dominant and market leader. Apple is dominant and market leader. It's because
Yeah, currently, yeah.
So everything changes like with lightning.
Yeah, I see ebbs and flows. I mean, for all I know, in 10 years, BlackBerry is going to be back on top. I kind of hope they
Yeah.
are,
So
but who knows?
I remember that some people were complaining that iPhone did not have buttons on the
Right?
screen.
Mhm.
So they were reluctant to use iPhone from the outset. So, but eventually everyone started using iPhone because it was the hottest ticket, right? Because it
Yeah.
was the best thing to buy, right? So I think Apple is very consumer centric, and also its design is outstanding.
hmm hmm Tell me, so for small business, let's
Yes.
say small business, you're a plumber or something like that. You got a few guys, a few vans running around. You maybe still have a flip phone, or if you have a smartphone, you don't have a whole lot on it.
Yeah.
What is a company like that that's definitely more local? What would you recommend they do as far as the marketing landscape? Because they may not necessarily even have social media accounts. Is the idea to have them hire people? Like, what do you suggest for them as far as marketing goes?
Oh, well, it is the first step is always the hardest, James. But I believe that if they take the first step, it will be a smooth move forward, because anyone can create their social media account. It's free, right? Because if you wanted to reach audiences 30 years ago, you had to pay millions of dollars traditional media to reach global audiences. You had to buy billboards, you had to advertise. If you wanted to advertise in newspapers, you had to buy a full page ad. So at no cost, you can reach millions of people through Twitter, through LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. So I believe that anyone should start creating content that is followers, consumers' best interest, because salespeople rarely manage to build their personal brands because they are sending sales pitches all the time. For example, when someone connects with me on LinkedIn, they send me sales pitches. I am selling this, I am selling that. Visit our website, we have 20% sales. So I believe that our world is tired and sick of this sales pitches. So we need to find new ways to tell our stories. And I believe that anyone should position themselves as a media company. So we need to start publishing information. We need to start creating, start sharing our success stories with our with this world, with consumers, with subscribers. Because your 2 videos on YouTube, on TikTok can change your business. So
Mm-hmm.
anyone should start showing more curiosity on a daily basis.
Yeah. Tell me how you believe AI is going to change the landscape of marketing.
Well, AI has become every brand's competitive advantage, and I believe that more than 80% of brands that don't uh, integrate AI into daily operations, they will disappear. Because you are doing your business faster because of the AI. Because of AI, and it is you will be in a catbird seat in the long term because you depend on AI. So I use AI. Any marketer should use AI to tell their stories, to create better content, and so it helps you move forward. So anyone should strike while the iron is hot and make hay while the sun shines, to use this tool, this generative AI, because it's free, because it helps you to solve your problems. It helps you create content. So why shouldn't people use this AI on a daily basis? Because it can help you to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, so the United States AI Institute, what is that?
Well, United States AI Institute provides certification programs throughout the world, and nowadays the institute collaborates with MIT, and they provide dual programs. In artificial intelligence. Our institute has instructors from MIT, world-renowned experts and thought leaders. So they work on win-win projects to provide certificate programs throughout the world.
Certification programs for marketers or for
For
developers or
everyone who wants to stay competitive in the age of AI.
okay, interesting. And so on the board with that, are you helping to define what those certifications are or how hard it is to get them, or
Well,
what is your position there?
I help boards in terms of how they can position themselves as a market leader. What kind of content they can create, how to win attention, how to connect with consumers. So I share my best tips with my colleagues, how they can drive their success forward.
All right. And how do you use AI in your business?
Well, as I mentioned, I create content. It helps me just to find better ideas, to create better content, more compelling content. And so I have been very impressed by AI and generative AI. On a daily basis, and I'm flabbergasted. I'm still shocked. What transformative power it has.
So is this so you are creating content or are you using AI and the AI is creating content?
No. I mean, AI gives me ideas what content to create in a faster, better way. So I save
Okay.
time. I save time. And I think AI can be your best assistant nowadays if you use in a smart way.
Yeah. Yeah. I've used AI for a lot of things. I wouldn't consider it the end all be all currently, though I'm certain it's evolving faster than
Yeah, so as I mentioned, James, you will not need to hire copywriters because AI can help you create better content and literally copyright the world that does not know copywriters names. They will not get any job in the future. This job will disappear in the future. But marketers who have built their personal brands and who have an emotional attachment to the world, they will still be in high demand. They will still be sought after because they have emotional connection with the world. I will be speaking at global events because I have built my personal brand. I'm known. I'm in a catbird seat. People know me. People are aware of my qualities. It's because I was working 16 hours a day when this world was was denigrating and belittling social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. I was working 16 hours a day, 16 hours a day. So in 2024, I have well-deserved success because I have put my heart and soul into building my personal brand, and building a solid personal brand is what sets you apart in this day and age,
All right. I was just going to ask if you're going to be out of a job soon, but it sounds like you're okay.
Yeah. So James, I mean, I'm very sorry that people are losing jobs nowadays, but anyone should show more curiosity. I turned my side hustle into a profitable business because I was curious, because I was reinvesting every penny into my growth, because I was showing more patient. So consistency has been the bedrock of my growth, because if you are not consistent, you can't win in social media. So consistent action creates consistent results.
Fair. Totally fair. Tell me about Techstars and being a mentor with them.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. I was contacted by amazing colleague from Techstars who notified me that I became a mentor at Techstars. So I started sharing my marketing tips with entrepreneurs in Saudi Arabia. It is Techstars has this specific program. Techstars founder catalyst. So it is amazing program. It is amazing program. I already mentored. I already mentored a few entrepreneurs, a few startups, and I inspired them to discover practicality in marketing, how they can use social media to tell their stories, because as you know, I love this quote of Steve Jobs, who said that the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller, So we need to tell our stories. There are still so many brands that don't tell their stories, they don't win, because they don't connect with consumers. Because Elon Musk tells his stories on a daily basis. That's why he communicates with Tesla's owners on Twitter, and Tesla is a market leader, because of curiosity, because of long-term thinking, because of patience, because even when Elon has a crisis in his in business, he shares everything. He does not have any skeleton in the closet. He shares.
Yeah, I don't know.
And James, consumers love entrepreneurs who put a human face on their brands.
Fair.
So
That's true.
Elon shares everything with consumers, with audiences, with followers. That's why he has built his community. That's why he has built trust. So earning trust is one of the best achievements in marketing, because when you earn trust, for example, I have earned your trust. That's why I'm a guest on your podcast. I'm also earning Google's trust, So
Sure.
so I don't need to work on SEO nowadays, because I have earned your trust, because I have a world-class expertise and career highlights that allowed me to be a guest on your podcast and to share my story with you, because I was working 16 hours a day to care about my audience, and I was inspiring people, because for example, James, when you Google, for example, digital marketing, digital transformation thought leaders, it's a top. Google shows you 20, maybe 12 experts, So I'm ranked at the top nowadays because of my strong personal brand. Yes. So Google picks me as a leading digital transformation thought leader. For example, when you Google digital marketing keynote speaker, my website is ranked #1 in the world among all keynote speakers in the world. Why? Because of my strong personal brand. I'm not only as a keynote speaker, I'm also a guest on podcasts. I'm an award judge. I advise boards. I have been featured in magazines, as I showed you. I have built my personal brand. I have my presence across all social media channels, because every little bit helps to build your personal brand, you know.
So what did it take for you to get there time-wise? Are we talking years, months, weeks? What are we talking?
Yeah, it took me 10 years.
10 years.
To
Okay,
build,
we got a
10
decade in
years
there.
to build my personal brand from scratch, you know.
All right.
Because James, you know, I had 0 followers in 2014, 0 followers, you know. So in 2014, I gained over 7,000 followers on Twitter. 7,000.
Wow.
7,000. And in 2015, I was recognized as number 65 global B2B marketing influencer by Analytica in London, because I was active on Twitter. I was sharing content. In 2017, I was recognized as among top 100 virtual reality influencers by Analytica in 2017. In 2018, I was recognized among top 100 digital transformation influencers by Analytica. Just imagine that Analytica has been Analytica laid strong foundation for my success, because Analytica was the first organization in London that recognized me worldwide, you know, because of my passion, because of my curiosity, because I was active on Twitter, you know. So I set the stage for my global success, that I won three awards in 3 years, from 2015 to 2018. So in 2020, Syncast 360, which was founded in Texas, recognized me as number one marketing thought leader in the world. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So just imagine that from nothing, I have become an influencer. I have become number one in the world. I won awards. I started judging awards. I have become a advisory board member at top institutes in the United States. I have become a mentor at Techstars. I built my website. So it's curiosity that led me, that allowed me to open so many doors in business, you know.
So let's break this down to a recipe for the people that don't know, I guess, or aren't sure where to start. If I'm a marketer, or I have a business and I want to market that, where do I
It's all
start?
about
What is the first thing that I do?
networking is everything these days, James, you know, because
In
people
person,
become,
one-on-one.
yes, networking is everything. So Twitter allows you to communicate with people on one-to-one level, you know, one-to-one level. So just imagine that Twitter is like a cocktail party, you know. So you are invited to this party, you jump into conversations, you introduce yourself, you break the ice with amazing people, you start networking. Some people are hiring marketers, some people are building next unicorns, some people are looking for business development managers, some people are investing in startups. So social media is like a Swiss Army knife for business nowadays, you know. You can build your personal brand, you can become a keynote speaker, you can get a job at top company, you can achieve your goals because of networking, you know. So people become investors because of networking, you know. And so it is of curiosity, you know. You need to love people. If you don't love people, you should never build your personal brand. You should never create your Twitter account, you know.
So it's interesting to say that. So I have a call answering service. We answer phones for a fair number of businesses that are in the service industry. We're talking construction, veterinary, IT, and a lot of these people I would not consider necessarily people. They don't like communicating, or they do better not communicating with people. They do well, let's just take veterinarians specifically. They became veterinarian typically because they like communicating with animals more than they do with people. So do you have them hire someone to be the face of the company, or how do you teach them, or what would you tell them to do or suggest for them to do from a marketing standpoint, getting on social media, if they're not the greatest at communicating?
The worst mistake business owners make is that they outsource communication and social media, you know. They outsource, you know.
Okay.
So this is the worst mistake people make nowadays. So I have to address the elephant in the room that people make mistakes when they outsource communication, social media, content creation. You know, if you are hiring someone who is going to communicate instead of you, you should not be in business, you know.
All right. Tell me why. Tell me why.
So you need to when you run your business, you need to humanize your brand. You need to put a human face on your business and directly communicate with consumers in the digital age, because it costs $0 to download social media channels and to set up your accounts and to start creating content and to start communicating with your subscriber followers, you know, to start showing gratitude, to start showing empathy, you know. So you need to respond to everyone's tweet, everyone's question, you know, because word of mouth marketing is what builds your business in this day and age, you know. Word of mouth marketing, you know.
So I want to challenge that a little bit. I don't disagree with you with the right person, but though the direct dollar cost isn't there, there is certainly a time cost. I mean, that's a rabbit hole you could spend 24 hours a day on social media if you want, right? You'll never scroll to the end. And some of the people that I'm thinking of, if somebody were to post a negative comment in response to a post that they made, they would get in a battle with someone.
So James, 60% of our consumers expect to be recognized by brands. 60%. That's why they complain and they leave negative comments on social media posts. You know, they depend. We need to build a community, strong community. You know, we need to build a strong community. So we need to respond to everyone's question, even to those who are not satisfied with our product and services. You know. Because if we don't respond, they will go around and they will tell other people, and it will have a snowball effect. It will be destructive for your brand, you know. So we need to respond. We need to respond to everyone's question, to solve their problems, and to list. We need to be in the listening business, you know. Why Amazon became Amazon? Because Amazon listens to consumers, you know. Amazon is not competitor centric, whereas the rest of retailers are competitor centric, and they focus on what Amazon is doing. At the same time, Amazon is listening to its consumers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you could
so you need to improve your product based on the feedback of your consumers, you know.
Sure. In the case of Amazon adding ads to their Prime Video stuff, that's probably
feedback.
We need
to drive our success, our results based on the feedback of our consumers, you know, based on our feedback. So we should expect this feedback from every corner, you know, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Snapchat, you know. So brands, what are the brands' excuses that they don't want to be on social media and to tell your story and to tell their stories and to listen to their consumers and humanize their brands? It's no longer traditional marketing. Traditional marketing was one-way communication, but social media is a two-way communication. You need to communicate. You need to put a human face. Well, there was madness. There was a method in Elon Musk madness when he was building these giant companies from scratch, and Elon Musk was borrowing money for rent in 2008 in San Francisco. You know.
Well, he didn't start Tesla from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk was borrowing money for rent,
right?
Because he reinvested every penny into his ventures. Into new companies. He did not have money. He did not have money for rent to pay for rent.
Spaceships are expensive, right?
Yeah. So this is why Elon was passionate about building his ventures from scratch. You know.
What do you think would have happened to Tesla if that SpaceX launch, I think it was number 7, that he was kind of all in, make it or break it? It was successful. What would have happened? What do you believe would have happened to Tesla if that launch would have failed?
Well, as I mentioned, why we love Elon Musk, because he shares everything with us. You know, he does not have any skeleton in the closet. You know, whereas it would be unacceptable for many entrepreneurs and co-founders to share everything with their followers, consumers in the digital age, because whatever you share affect your market share, right? It affects, But Elon is very daring, intrepid, forward thinker,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why I was inspired. I was inspired by his vision, his long-term thinking, his entrepreneurial spirit, to also to build my personal brand. Because if Elon Musk communicates with Tesla owners and he has become the market leader, anyone can become successful in 2024 in their different sectors if they start using social media for professional purposes. But so many people still use social media for personal purposes, and they don't care about building their personal brands,
Tell me, so the interesting thing I find with, I guess, going down the Elon Musk hole in social media, how does that guy have time to post all the time on social media? He's got all these companies, all these ploys. At any given moment, something's going to be on fire. Yet he's still posting all this stuff or commenting on Twitter.
Well, he loves what he does, That's why we admire him, and I believe that it was not a straight road for Elon. He has
never
become
is.
so it's never is. So resilience is very important, James. Resilience, And if you check out World Economic Forum's top skills in the world in 2024. Resilience is number third skill, top skill, third skill, in the world, because we need to take the bull by the horns and to move forward.
Tell me, what are number 1 and 2 for those skills?
Analytical thinking and creative thinking.
Oh, interesting. The curiosity there is
curiosity is number 5. Number 5.
Okay. The interesting thing is creative thinking, when I feel like AI is going to be taking a lot of that away.
So the fourth skill is motivation and self-awareness. 6 is technological literacy. 7 skill is the dependability and attention to detail. It's very important. Attention to detail. And number 8, empathy and active listening. Number 9, leadership and social influence. And last but not least, quality control.
Oh, interesting. Who decides that? Who decides those 10? Is that some board?
Well, the World Economic Forum in Switzerland has world-renowned experts, so they gather to choose top skills each year to show the world what matters the most.
Interesting. That would have been a fun meeting to listen to. Maybe.
So number 3 skill is resilience, flexibility, and agility. Number 3.
All right. Interesting. That is very cool. So, Vladimir, if I'm building a small business, my plumber business, I got to get on social media. I got to be the face of my company. I got to be on there,
communicating,
post, respond. Besides social media, what's step 2?
Besides social media, great question. Because internet life has become the real life, right?
Perceived, right? I don't know about real, but certainly perceived.
Real life is secondary, I believe, because it no longer provides. So there are 8 billion. There are 8 billion people in the world, and 5.6 billion mobile users, 5.2 billion internet users, and 4.9 billion social media users. Almost 5 billion people use social media. Just imagine, 5 billion people. You can achieve so much if you start telling your story and humanize your brand, show more curiosity. Of course, it's not a straight road. I can say from my experience that, of course, but I loved everything along the way, James. Everything. You and Twitter is not a straight road, but you should be you need to have a thick skin to navigate.
In business, that's a must.
You need to have a thick skin,
Yeah. So beyond social media, or is that it? Social media is it?
Well,
it's the end game.
Well, we no longer read newspapers. We are in a streaming economy. We watch Netflix. We watch no ads. We listen to Spotify. We hear no ads. Right. So Amazon Prime, no ads. Disney Plus, no ads. We are in a streaming economy nowadays. Consumers pay extra not to consume ads. So consumption of ads is down by 95%, and the trust in businesses, brands, and advertising has declined 15 years in a row. 15 years in a row.
How
More
do they
than
measure that?
more than 750 million consumers have ad blockers on mobile devices. 750 million consumers have ad blockers on mobile devices. Just imagine that the brands waste their billions of dollars on backward looking advertising, and nobody wants to tell their stories on social media. Nobody wants to put human face on their brands. And instead they still depend on tried and true backward looking advertising, and they getting nothing in return. They lose market share. They go out of business. Consumers no longer trust them, and if it's their choice, then they are out of business.
Gotcha. Fair enough. So get on social media and be the face of your brand is
Absolutely.
the sum up of what we got.
It is a golden age. It is a golden age, social media. So if people don't create content, they will regret 15 years later not creating content, not humanizing their brands, not connecting with their consumers in the digital age. So we need to. Everyone is a media company nowadays. Everyone is a media company. Everyone.
Yeah,
everyone has power at their fingertips nowadays. So we need to care about our consumers. We need to listen to our consumers. Many brands are broadcasters nowadays, James, broadcasters, but we need to be in the listening business. Before I start speaking at global events, I listen to my followers, my subscribers, my consumers, so I learn everything through them, and I know consumer behavior quite well because I'm very close to my consumers. So brands need to get closer to their consumers in order to win in the long term. Otherwise, it will be tough because still so many big organizations and big brands are very far from their consumers. They depend on this, marketing strategies that worked 30 years ago. They market like it is. They market like 1995 in 2024 world, and consumers no longer trust them.
Tell me, where do you see social media going in the next 3 to 5 years with AI and all the changes and all that jazz?
I believe that we are in a Web 2.5 experience because I don't believe that every social media is built on blockchain. So I don't think, but we are moving to Web 3. We are moving to Web 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So Web 3 is everything will be transparent nowadays. Everything, everything. So people need to start showing more curiosity. They need to adapt to the reality of this fourth industrial revolution and to get closer to their consumers, and to tell their stories and to position themselves as a media company and to start publishing information. Otherwise, they will be replaced by AI because AI, as I mentioned, copywriters will be replaced by AI because I will not need copywriters. I will not be hiring copywriters because AI helps me. So we need to reinvent ourselves every single day. So James, what are the 5 lessons from Amazon? First is building a great experience. Second, being consumer centric. Third, reinventing yourself. Fourth is being experimental, because Jeff Bezos said that if you double the number of experiments you do per year, you are going to double your inventiveness. And fifth is thinking in the long term, because still so many brands think about what happens in the next 5, 6, 7 months, but Amazon thinks about what happens in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. That's why Jeff Bezos is a long-term thinker to the core. That's why he has built this amazing company, Amazon, because Amazon was the biggest advertiser on Google AdWords from 2005. So Amazon And Jeff Bezos capitalized on Google AdWords underpriced attention to build what Amazon is nowadays, you know?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Vladimir, I appreciate your time. How can people find you?
People can visit me at vladimirbotsvadze.com,
Okay.
where I provide services. Then they can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm open to new connections. They can follow me on Twitter at Vlado Botsvadze. Also, I'm also available on Instagram at Vladimir Botsvadze. Last but not least, they can like my Facebook page, Vladimir Botsvadze. So let's connect and build great things in the future, you know?
Yeah, that sounds great. Vladimir, I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you so much, James.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I truly shared my best expertise with you nowadays. I'm sure that my actionable and practical insights will help so many colleagues and business owners throughout the world to discover practicality in business and how they can position themselves as a media company and to get closer to the consumers to tell their stories, you know?
Absolutely. That's the name of the game. This has been Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. We're locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie. If you're listening or watching this on the web, if you could do us a huge favor, give it the big old thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, share it with your entrepreneurial friends, especially those that are in the marketing game or those that don't understand that they're in the marketing game. And let's be honest, we're all in the marketing game. My name is James Kateman, and Authentic Business Adventures is brought to you by Calls on Call, offering call answering and receptionist services for service businesses across the country on the web at callsoncall.com. And of course, the Bold Business Book, a book for the entrepreneur in all of us, available wherever fine books are sold. We'd like to thank you, our wonderful listeners, as well as our guest, Vladimir Botsvadze. Can you tell us that website one more time, Vladimir?
Botsvadze.
Oh, Botsvadze. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Z is pronounced. Interesting. Okay. I love it. I love it. Can you tell us the website one more time?
VladimirBotsvadze.com.
Awesome. I love it. Past episodes can be found morning, noon, and night. Podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week. I want you to stay awesome. And if you do nothing else, enjoy your business.